Hello, and welcome to another great episode of the Hank Fishing Show. I'm your host, Henry. Today, we will be doing something that I always wanted to learn how to do, which I now learn how to do, but maybe you guys will want to learn how to do it as well. It is how to make your own jigs, jig heads, and yeah, basically the whole setup for it. I'll get into it in a second, so keep on watching. Alright guys, today there's a couple things that you are going to need when you are making your own jigs. To start off, you are going to need a pot just like this. As you can tell, I've got it heating up. I can put this little scoop in there and it's starting to move around a little bit. FYI, this stuff is just super hot. So you're going to need a couple things. Next to the safety hazards, you're going to need this jig mold, any sort of jig mold you want. This one's specifically a do-it jig mold. These are some of the lures, some of the jigs I've already made. You're gonna need jig hooks. I got 1/0 size and I got 3/0. So we'll be using a couple different kinds today. The next thing you're gonna really want to use is something that can really protect that old hand. This is probably oven mitts, and for the other hand, I am using a little musky glove. So basically, you just want to cover your body like entirely so that any splashes don't get on your face. I'm going to be wearing some safety glasses so I don't get my eye burned out, because that would sort of stink. I wouldn't be able to fish anymore. So we'll be using those safety little precautions, sweatshirt or something, just so you don't get your stuff, any possible spillage. So let's get into it now. Alright, so what I'm basically doing here first is I am taking the jig hooks. There are two different kinds of weights. We got the 1/4 ounce and we got the 1/8 ounce. So it says to use specific hook sizes, 1/0 and number 1 hooks. So basically what I'm using 3/0 right here, and it doesn't really matter. I'm just not going to be able to fill up spots here and here. I just wanted to sort of test out to see what the 3/0 ratio between this and the lead was, to see if it was a well balanced weight for the hook. I might use it on these swim baits or certain types of plastics. I'm going to take the jig setup that I've just created, or just put the jig hooks in, and there should not be any cracks along and in here. This should be fitting tight, nice and good, so that you don't get any slippage, or when you pour in the lead, you don't get any leakage. The stuff that is on top of this lead pot is called slag. It's also, there's some dirt in here and stuff, but the slag is the stuff that you don't want. You just want this thing completely purified. So if you have like a certain spoon or something better than this, you can get this thing called Slag Bucket, basically a dog bowl or whatever you want, and just throw all your junk in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this little pot, and this is where I'm going to put my Slag Bucket in. Alright, so you got your safety glasses, put those babies on. Your little face mask so you don't get a bunch of lead and purity stuff going in your body. Hey, what up? So once you got that on, you can start putting on your gloves. So you basically just scoop this stuff up, and then you take it and you start pouring. And you start pouring it in. Be careful not to spill, but if it happens, it happens. This stuff cools pretty quick. So once that's done, you can open this thing up, and there's your jigs. Nice and easy. Now the thing is you got these top parts out here. It should have cooled down by now, but what you do is you got that excess lead on there. You should all just pop right out like that. You got yourself some nice old jig heads. Alright, so now I got the jig hooks all molded up. I just take these pliers, put it right in between the jig head and the extra lead that is on top. Grab these pliers right here, squeeze, and then boom. Came right off. And here is the finished product. These are just the 3/0 hooks I was using before. Sometimes you'll get some miss spots. You know, this probably isn't the cleanest of hooks for jig molds, the little sharp pointed objects or areas. That could have just mean that it wasn't as tight as I would have liked it to be, but what we can always do is just take this, put it right back into the pot, and you should be good to go. This thing will melt off. You take out the hook, and then you can start over. So that's pretty much it. Folks, that is the end of it. Today, we learned how to make some jigs. If you have any other questions, you know, how to paint them, how to do that kind of stuff, just drop it down in the little comment section. If you're watching this for the first time, you can do a little subscribe button so that you can see my videos all the time. But beside that fact, thanks again for watching this, because this is something that I want to start doing a little more of, because then I don't have to buy my own jigs. Because really, 1/4 ounce and 1/8 ounce, that's all I need. Thanks again for watching, guys. Have a good one.